In complete darkness, a fine chemical mist settles over a scrubbed bathroom floor. Instantly, a bright blue glow erupts across the dark wood, exposing exactly what someone tried to wash away. Securing a first-degree murder conviction without a physical body is a massive legal hurdle. Without an autopsy or a confirmed cause of death, the entire prosecution depends on the strength of forensic reagents and digital breadcrumbs. This investigation is a battle against a specific mindset, an arrogant belief that a human being could be flawlessly erased from existence if one simply followed the right logistical steps. Mamta Kafle Bhatt was 28 years old, raising an 11-month-old daughter and working as a dedicated pediatric nurse. When she failed to show up for her shift at the local hospital in late July 2024, her colleagues immediately identified the unusual absence. Her husband, 37-year-old Manassas Park, approached her absence very differently. He had spent years in the U.S. Army Reserve working as an automated logistics specialist, a role defined by managing complex supply chains and maintaining absolute control over moving parts. The timeline of Mamta's disappearance is incredibly narrow. Her last verified activity was a video call with her mother back in Nepal on the evening of July 29th. After that, her physical and digital presence ended. Over the next 48 hours, Naresh's actions became highly specific. On July 30th, surveillance footage captured him purchasing a 3-pack of knives. The very next day, he returned to buy bulk cleaning supplies. By delaying the official missing persons report until August 5th, while simultaneously procuring cleanup materials, he demonstrated a level of calculation that suggests a planned operation rather than a panicked reaction. Investigators soon found what those cleaning supplies were meant to hide. The Meath repositioned furniture in the master bedroom. They discovered pooled blood and physical indicators that a heavy weight had been dragged across the floor. Of the 3 knives he purchased, only 1 remained in the home. The disposal effort extended far beyond the house. Detectives tracked Naresh's movements and recovered a blood-stained bath mat from a local clothing donation bin, a mat that presumptive tests matched to the patterns inside the Bhatt residence. This map of Loudoun County highlights a contradiction. On August 1st, a cell tower registered a final ping from Mamta's device. Naresh claimed she vanished, yet his statements placed him here. Digital data and security footage tracked him precisely to these locations. He focused entirely on bleaching floorboards and managing the physical environment, yet he remained oblivious to the massive digital broadcast he was sending to investigators with every mile he drove. That blind spot aligns perfectly with his background. Back in 2020, Naresh was hired as a police recruit in Fairfax County, but he was dismissed from the academy after just 22 days. That brief exposure to police procedures, paired with his military logistics background, equipped him with a dangerous level of partial knowledge. He knew enough to attempt forensic countermeasures, but lacked the depth to execute them against modern investigative tools. By late August, his strategy shifted from concealment to liquidation. He contacted individuals to rapidly sell the family home and sold his Tesla just 24 hours after police asked to inspect it, allegedly disabling its internal GPS tracking system beforehand. When police executed a search warrant, they found suitcases already packed. Crucially, they found passports and birth certificates for both Naresh and his infant daughter staged and ready for an immediate departure from the country. A look into his search history revealed queries about what happens to debt when a spouse dies, and how quickly a widow can legally remarry. These are the markers of a highly clinical personality. To him, domestic turbulence and his wife's murder were treated not as a tragedy, but as a logistical problem to be solved and managed. His behavior with investigators remained dismissive. He initially suggested Mamta was just visiting family in Texas or New York, despite the fact that her entire family resides in Nepal. Now he faces a first-degree murder trial that has been pushed back to October 2026. The defense is using this window to build an argument around the missing remains. They characterize the vast amounts of chemical blood evidence as circumstantial stuff that fails to provide definitive proof of a death. This creates an immense legal tension. Prosecutors must convince a jury to convict a man of a Class 1 felony, relying almost entirely on a complex matrix of glowing chemicals and cell tower pings. The case serves as a dark psychological study. It exposes the damage that can be done when tactical knowledge is weaponized by a blindingly arrogant mind. Yet, the most agonizing aspect of the case remains unresolved. Despite dozens of physical searches and a massive investigation, Mamta's remains have never been found. It leaves a haunting question. Can true justice be achieved when a controlling mind refuses to surrender its final secret to a grieving community? He believed he could orchestrate the perfect crime, but his pursuit failed because he underestimated two forces he couldn't control: the permanence of his digital footprint and the relentless persistence of the people.